Grand Rising, great time to be alive. Jameson here in Boston, the Encore. Beautiful place. Let's take a look real quick. Got Fenway Park down there, here in the Boston Harbor. You've been going through things that you didn't expect to go through. These last 5 years have been crazy. It's almost like a different dimension, like another world we live in today. And over the last 2 years, especially like around September 2 years ago, there was a real major shift. A lot of things came out. A lot of things got exposed. A lot of people, places, and things revealed themselves to remove all doubt about whether or not those red flags were valid. And you weren't quite sure. That's okay. You know, you wanted to give people the benefit of the doubt. You're a loving human being. You're an empathetic person. You love people, but you just realize that they're not themselves anymore. People are possessed by a different energy now. Most people are asleep. Most people are products of their algorithms. They don't know how to separate themselves from it or pull back. They don't meditate. They don't pray. They don't write. They don't journal. They're not self-aware. They're not seeking more knowledge of themselves. They're puppets, robots, flying monkeys. And you are not here for that. You see right through it. There's a title called NPC, non-player character. And when you go into public places, you see a lot of these non-player characters. And especially since our population, people have moved around since 2020. Like a lot of people in the world in general have just moved around, and everything has come together. It's a melting pot. Everywhere we go now, there's no home. Home is gone. You know, the home factor of the culture and the community, like everybody's torn apart now. Everybody's divided. There's no sense of community, of home. You know, even within the family structure, there's no harmony. And these are the times that we're given to test our resilience and force us to go within, to meditate, to pray, to ask for the right thought or action, the right non-action, the right, the right way to show up in service, because you've been given opportunities that others don't have. You've been given strengths and powers that others don't have. There's a lot of people that aren't coming back. They're just swooped up in it. There's a lot of people that, you romanticize about how things used to be with these people, but they're not the same anymore. And you're not the same anymore. And now more than ever, our colors are showing, our expressions can't be contained anymore. We're being more honest with each other. We're starting to express ourselves when necessary, because we were able to use restraint before, and now we either just disengage or we speak our truth, which polarizes people, and people don't want to be called out, and then they turn into these sick demonic creatures that start attacking you for your light and for you sharing your wisdom or your truth. And they don't like that. They don't like to be called out. They like to be concealed. They like to hide, and they like to manipulate and lie and orchestrate things, as long as their players are playing. And you're not one of their players. You're one that calls them out for that. You see their manipulation. You see their drug addiction, their use of alcohol or mind-numbing substances. They're not sober people. They're not clear. And they claim to be clear. And they're really good at picking, they're really good at exposing other people or calling other people out of their characteristics. They're not talking about you, they're talking about themselves, and they're wanting people to see you as them and their demonic activity. and it's very cunning. And a lot of people that don't suspect anything or don't know any better or don't really know you will probably believe them, and they'll fall into, they'll fall into the trap and into the spell, and you'll have to let them go too. You'll have to cut them off. And it's just a place that we're in today. This world is not what it used to be. Technology, artificial intelligence, these screens, these algorithms, people are not the same anymore. They're programmed. They're not bad people. They're just not on the same frequency and on the same path as you. You've been selected to be different. And you might get ridiculed for this. You might get picked on. People make you, they see you as an easy target because you're not following along with the social norms, or, you're not following along with the script. You're going to be seen as maybe on the spectrum, or you're going to be seen as somebody that's, not very intelligent or whatever, because they're not on the same frequency as you. And that's okay. Like, you're not here to please them, first of all. Second of all, they're not even on your level. And third of all, if they were, you wouldn't be dealing with any of that stuff. So anybody that's not on your level, on your frequency, on your channel, or on your path, that's supposed to be on your path to move with you upwards. There's a lot of people that can't come with you, but those people that are with you won't treat you that way. And you're going to have to find, you don't have to find, but you can do this on your own, but the people that do resonate with you and do agree that there's something more than the surface level, worldly, materialistic existence are already up there. You're going to try to seek the people that are already up there. They're not tuned into the world. Jehovah's Witnesses, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, so they talk about worldly people. And while Jehovah's Witnesses are not necessarily the truth, they have some truth, and they have some guidance that tells them not to be worldly. And they have the Bible, of course. And the Bible is the original, source. And, they do practice abstaining from worldly things, from, they don't abstain from material possessions. They do love their material things. They do love their, they have their thing too. They're not perfect. And they are misled, unfortunately. But they, they don't tune into politics. They don't tune into worldly things. They don't serve but one God. And while they think they're serving God, doing the things that the governing body are telling them to do, they're being misled, and their energy is being siphoned into the governing body, into the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, which is a non-profit publishing company. And so they're giving their energy to that Amway, that multi-level marketing production of people that are getting their labor exploited, their money exploited, their service exploited, their time exploited, all to bring more members to that congregation. It's always been that way. My dad is a devout Jehovah's Witness and has been his whole life, and he still thinks he might get a chance to go to the other side, the paradise on earth, if he continues to go out and sell magazines or bring people in to the truth. And that's maybe true for him, but is it the truth? Is it your truth? Is it the truth? Is that Jehovah's Witness Watchtower Bible Tract Society the truth? Well, let's take a look at how they treat people. They ostracize people. They abuse people. I lived it, and they mislead people. And those men control people. And the psyop is huge. But to set that aside, basically they don't participate with the world. And so they set that apart. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I know many ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who had to get over the abuse, and some of them killed themselves because of the level of narcissistic abuse, gaslighting, and all of that stuff. These words that we hear today, it's true. It's demonic activity, and it's not of God. So all of these things that are not of God, not of the highest truth, not of unconditional love and light, your intuition already knows, you know, and you're on the right track. It's painful, it's lonely, but you got this pen, you got this journal, you got your prayer, your meditation, you know, you've got your Bible, you've got your you've got your time with God within here, within your heart. If you sit and you go into your heart space and you listen and you ask God for the answers, they will come. But be still. If this message was for you, then you know it. If it wasn't, that's okay. But if you resonate with this and it's true for you, feel free to respond, to leave a comment, to show some kind of action in the perimeter of this video. You're a chosen one. You're not of this world. You're here in the simulation to play the game, to make it through to the other side, and not to get tied up in taking things personally, not to try to correct everything. Like, you're here to stay within your space. You're going to find people that are going to come for your light. They're going to try to attack you, abuse you, slander you, like they're coming for you. We're in the season of they're coming for you. So it's not going to be easy, as you know, but don't give up. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to the light. Write down your experiences. Share them with other people. You're not alone, and you're here for a bigger cause. You're not here to figure out how to make a living and live in the matrix and do the 9 to 5. You're beyond that. You know that. Your abundance and your wealth comes in other ways. And while you may need to pay the bills and feed yourself, there's so much more to it. So, God bless. Stay tuned. Stay tuned in. It's an understanding, not an understanding, an understanding, an overstanding. You know this. Cheers.